Now we come to the generic actions applicable to all components. First is the need to create a component before you can do anything. This is a guiding philosophy of NVivo. First create a component, then do something to it. The easiest thing to remember is that in every case, it is always possible to create new components by right-clicking, either in the empty space of a list view, so if I right-click here, I'll be able to create a new node, or by right-clicking on a folder in the navigation view. So here I can create a new folder hanging underneath this one, or indeed a new node. And the same principle flows through the software in each navigational area. In addition, components can be renamed at any time. If I go to one of my nodes, for example, if I want to rename this node, then I can go to the properties again by right-clicking and change the name. Alternatively, if I don't want to do that via the properties window, then clicking with the left mouse twice, slowly, will allow me to rename here. The next common action is to search the whole project for a word, or more technically speaking, a particular string of characters, which could be part of a word. You do this using the Find option, which is located above the list view. If it's not there, then you can open it by checking the Find checkbox in the Home menu. If I put my cursor in here and start typing a word, then NVivo will search across the whole of the project and find all the components that have that word within their name. You can also see that you can choose to search within particular areas of your NVivo project rather than across all components in the project. I can also search for a phrase in this way. And as you can see, NVivo treats these two separate words as connected, so finds where they are together as a phrase in a component name. This Find tool is different from the Advanced Find, which is accessible from the Explore main menu. Whereas the Find tool that I just showed looks for components based on their name, Advanced Find can search for components according to a whole range of much more complex criteria. I can search for the component that I'm interested in, and I can choose the criteria upon which I want to search for that component. If I'm doing this because I want to group components based on certain criteria, then it can be useful to add to the project as a search folder. So I'll just do this based on cases in this project. I'm going to find respondents who are male and living in the Netherlands. So first of all, I have to find the component that I'm looking for, in this instance cases, so I'll choose that option. And because I'm looking for the values of two attributes, male and the Netherlands, then I need to go to the Advanced tab in order to combine those two criteria. And I do that just at the bottom by choosing first the first attribute that I'm interested in. So gender is male, add that to the list. And then I want another one as well, attribute, this time nationality is Dutch, and add that to the list. And NVivo will find all the cases that have both those attribute values assigned to them. When I click Find Now, in the background, NVivo has found the relevant cases, just two in this example, and also created a search folder automatically, which is listed down here under the search area. There are all kinds of other options in the Advanced Find that you can explore in order to group subsets of your data according to various criteria. In the videos about annotations and memos, we discussed these writing spaces, so I won't repeat that information here. But what I do want to emphasise about writing in relation to the project as the whole is that every component also has a description field, accessible from each component's properties. So I'll just go back and look at nodes to illustrate that to you. If I go to the thematic nodes area, if I want to edit the description for a particular node, I can just right click and go to the properties. And there you see the description, which is editable. If I want to see the description in the list view, which is useful when coding, then in the home menu, I can open up the list view and customize it. So I'll just move the description across and maybe also up so it appears next to the name in the columns of the list view, and click OK. And then you'll see that the description column becomes available, showing any of the descriptions I've currently got for these particular nodes. It's also worth remembering that the content of some files are also editable. You'll know from Chapter 5 that NVivo accepts files in several different formats, and these are indicated by different icons in the list view. So let's just go back and have a look at that. All of the ones with this little text icon are called documents, and when I open those up, then I can click to edit and change any content as required. But of course that won't be possible with PDF files because they're a display format, so I can't edit those. In addition, it's not currently possible to edit cells within a dataset file, for example, that's been imported using the survey import option. Sorting is also an action that can be taken on all components because all components are stored in lists. And lists can be sorted by clicking on any column header. So for example, this list is currently sorted by name in alphabetical order, but I can also sort it by codes, and that puts the least frequent number at the top. If I click again, then it will sort it according to the highest number. And that is true for any of the column headers I've currently got on view. Visualizing in maps and charts is an action that can be taken on components as well, although the options do vary by component. We discussed maps and charts in those videos, so I'm just reminding you here that you can access the different visualizations in several ways. Before I show you this, remember that we use the term chart as a catch-all for all visualizations that are not one of the three types of map. NVivo additionally uses other terms, for example diagrams, but to keep things simple, we use the term chart loosely to differentiate maps from other visualizations. You'll see in the Explore menu that the various visualizations are accessible there, but it's also worth remembering that you can right-click on components, and often there is a Visualize option there which allows you to access charts that are relevant to that particular component. Remember also that if you generate a chart, you currently cannot save that chart within NVivo, although you can export it as an image file and then re-import it if you want to. However, for maps, we have a specific area in the navigational view where maps can be created and saved. Finally, remember that you can undo any action you take using a component, using the standard undo button. If you click on the little down arrow next to the undo button, you'll be able to choose up to the 5 last actions you undertook in order to undo. To be able to see the log of all of the actions you've undertaken, remember we ticked that checkbox when creating a project earlier on, then I can just go to the File menu and open the project event log from there, and you'll see everything that has been, and you'll see every action that's been undertaken, who undertook it, and when. This completes the orientation to the NVivo project as a whole, and we now invite you to read about any other component in Chapter 5 you've not yet read about, and then watch its component orientation video.